All right. So, how I met Gary Vee. Let's cut straight to the chase. I got upgraded to VIP at an event. I didn't pay anything for that VIP. I paid for the event, but I didn't pay for the VIP. So, that was completely it just happened. And before I start, I do have a video of how to network or how to get into the vicinity of an influencer or perhaps a celebrity that you'd like to connect with. So if you'd like to see that, check out the link down below. It's under my 5-day challenge, but I'm slowly adding videos in there with some of my top secrets. I might make it paid eventually, so check it out while you can. But yeah, let's go into the Gary Vee thing. So let's start. So this was back in 2017. Gary Vee had an event to come to Vancouver. It was called the Real Talk Summit. And at that time, I was like dead broke. I was like a photographer and I was super, super ambitious. I had a couple thousand followers on Instagram. I was like, oh, I'm doing it. I got a couple thousand followers, but I was dead broke. So this event was there. And I think it was like $200 or $250. And then the VIP, I think it was like $1,000 or more than that. So I barely had any money to afford it, right? And then I went to a dinner one day and then I met with one of my friends, right? And then he brought some of his friends. And then one of his friends was like, oh yeah, I got this discount code from this event for a guy called Gary Vaynerchuk. And I was like, hey, I want to go to that event. And he's like, yeah, I'll give you a discount code. So I got the discount code. I paid way less to go to that event after that. I bought my ticket. What happened is I was super excited. The day before, I was like, how am I going to meet Gary Vee? 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 And then after that, I saw a message from one of my friends. He was like, I better see a selfie with you and Gary Vee. And I was like, okay, deal. So I go to the event and I was just like, okay, well, let's see. And then they said that, oh, the person we're going to upgrade one person to VIP. And I was like, okay, let's figure out how to do this. They're like, use this hashtag, tag us, boom. So before I went, I did some research and I was like, okay, who's organizing this event? And I realized, okay, this person's organizing it. And then funnily enough, I went to the event. It was at I think it was a convention center, if I'm correct. And there's a lot of people there. There's quite a bit of people there. And the funny thing is, I saw the guy who was hosting the event. So I saw him. I had my photography stuff. And I just went up to him and I was like, hey, if you would like to... I just presented myself, who I was and this and that. And I said, hey, I'm a photographer. I'm going to shoot photos anyways. If you like any of the photos, I would love to give them to you for free. And he was like, oh, thank you. Thank you. But I mean, I already have photographers, but thanks for doing that. I appreciate that. So I ended up doing that. And then I just went through the event. And this is one thing that I did that I think made it become a thing. I just enjoyed the event. Like I literally just networked. I met people. I talked to people and I just networked. I didn't, at that point I was like, okay, well, you're probably not going to meet Gary Vee. Like you might meet him like after his thing where he talks to people, but you're not actually like, you're not going to get upgraded to VIP. But what I did was I just kept taking pictures of myself and I just said, blessed to be here, super excited to be here. And I kept posting it because at that time on Instagram, I was posting like 3-4 times a day on my feed. So I would just post, excited to be here, love being here, excited to be here, excited to be here. I used their hashtag, I tagged them. I did what they said. If you want to win, then that's literally it. So I literally did that. And then what happened was I just went through the event. Gary Vee came out, he started talking, and then there's a lot of people there. It was packed. He talked, he gave a speech, and then he finished his speech. Once he finished his speech, sometimes at that event, he just went down to talk to people and people ask questions. And I was kind of like in line to ask questions. But what happened was I was quite close to him already. And funnily enough, there's a clip of me where I just kind of shoot and then he kind of looks at the camera. He's like smiling or something. He does like a face like that. And then all of a sudden I check my phone and then it says, congratulations, you've been chosen to be upgraded to VIP. And I was like, I remember I was like, oh, I'm leaving, because it was a little bit further away, and I was commuting, right? I was taking the train. I think it was a train. Yeah, I think I was taking the train or the bus. I can't remember. Or did I take an Uber? I can't remember. This was so long ago. So I commuted to that place, and then I was there. There was still quite a bit of people there, but it was a lot less than that event. And it felt exclusive. There was like stuff, like there's appetizers, and it just felt, it was a VIP, right? So I went there, and then Gary Vee came, and people were swarming him naturally. They were swarming him, of course. That was a big thing. However, when I got my turn, right, it got me closer to meeting Gary Vee. And I went up to him. I don't remember what I said. I think at that, now, there's a lot of people, this is what I actually did, which is really, I find a little bit interesting. People are going up to him and asking him different questions. Hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, this and this and that. For me, I was like, this is my warm-up. I don't want to ask anything from Gary Vee yet. Or not yet, but like, I don't really want to ask him for anything. Because a lot of times when I network with someone, I'm not trying to network to get something from them. I'm just trying to network because maybe pick their brain or learn from them. But a lot of times when I network, a lot of times it's just saying, hey, this is me, this is who I am. If you need something, let me know. That's usually how I network. And that's my mindset when it comes to networking. I just say, hey, this is me. This is what I can provide, or this is what I do. If you need anything, let me know. And I check up on them every now and then, right? So that's how I network. So I had the same mindset when I came to Gary, but except I didn't say, oh, I can offer something. I just said, hey, Gary, I'm working on myself. I've been grinding. I've been doing my thing. I see you doing your hustle. Keep up the hustle. That's literally all I told him. And then he just, shook hands, and then we took a photo, and that was it. But the lesson here is, first of all, if you have a vision, find a way to get it done. Like at that time, I think I would post visions on all of my posts. Visions on my Instagram posts when I was a photographer. And the biggest thing here is, and again, I'm not gonna break down how I network with people and how to build a network of people. I made that video already. So if you want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. I'll leave the link down below. But the biggest thing is, everybody's a human being, right? Even when I saw him, it was like, oh, it was cool seeing him. However, I realized that at that point, like, he's just a regular human being like everybody else. He's not like he's this. It's just that we've seen his face so many times that I had heard someone say, oh, he looks like a wax figure. I remember that. We've seen his face, or we see public figures' faces so many times. And also they provided so much value to us that we just feel like, okay, this is like this is someone who we appreciate. This is someone who, it's one of those things, right? So it's always important to remember that they are human beings at the end of the day. But yeah, that's pretty much how I met Gary Vee. That was a great year. It was 2017. I think it was at the start of the year. It was great. I randomly ended up like running into like Mark Cuban. I could talk about a story about that too. That was a really interesting one. That wasn't anything crazy, but I remember what I told him when I saw him. Took a quick picture with him. That was nothing crazy, but that was kind of like a warm up where I started to meet more and more influencers, and I started working with a lot more higher follow people. Whereas like I'm just, I guess you can say, a small creator. You can do this as a small creator. There's a lot of different ways. So I talk about that in my challenge. It's in my 5-day challenge for now, but I'm going to make some changes. You'll see the videos there. So if you want to check it out, check out the link down below, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks again. Don't forget to stay authentic. Peace.